I still appreciate where WoW came from. And that's really the main reason why I like to jump back on this from time to time. Because it makes me appreciate WoW all the more. No, I'm not saying it's perfect. But it does give you a different experience from, you know, the norm nowadays. You know, especially comparing the two, it's so different. Like, nowadays, hell, by now, at this point, if you were doing the starting zone in current WoW right now where I am, you'd be out of the starting zone by now. I'm still in it. I'm still in it. Because I will say this. The progression of old WoW, Wrath and Under, the progression of the zones, yeah, it was longer, but you were invested in it more. Now, you fly through zones so damn fast. I hate to say it. That is one of the things, you know, when I was talking about the other night, when I was talking about how the RPG element of WoW is pretty much non-existent. And I'm not talking about stats. I'm not talking about, you know, stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. You know, I'm not talking about numbers per se or completely here. I'm talking about the RPG immersion. Let's just be completely honest here. You fly through zones so damn fast nowadays. You don't really, at least in my personal experience, I don't really feel any kind of attachment or feel like I'm creating or experiencing something epic anymore as far as the zones are concerned. I don't. I really don't. And that's not a knock at the designs. That's not a knock at the work they put into it. It's not. It has a lot to do with just progression overall. Nowadays, it is such a solo experience nowadays that you pretty much just fly. It is designed to fly through it now. Because the whole point of WoW, and this is where the big difference is between current WoW and old WoW. The design of it now is to get to the end game as quick as possible. That's the design of it, okay? Because that's what they think people want to do. And a lot of that, and I'll say this, a lot of that has to do with people doing, like, you know, realm first. You know, who's going to take down the raid boss first, you know, and stuff like that. And, you know, all that, and mythic plussing and stuff like that. It's such a speed race now with current WoW. And it's such a solo experience. It pushes such a solo experience. You're not really pushed to do group content anymore. Like, pretty much the only group content you're kind of pushed to do now is war mode. And even then, you know, you could be by yourself. You could turn on war mode and be by yourself and you'd be fine. You know, I know a lot of people are like, well, I get jumped when I'm in, when war mode's turned on. It's like, well, there's ways around it, you know. There's a way to turn on war mode and you're not going to get jumped day by day, you know. Just go to another part of the game, you know, or go to a different zone. Because now it's designed that you can jump back and forth between any of the zones in the current game and you're not going to lose any bit of your level progression. Or people who are like me have 10 characters. Yeah, exactly, you know. During these days in Wrath and Under, it felt great to want to go with your friends to a zone and experience a zone together. I have so many countless memories of just my initial experience with World of Warcraft. When I first made my Forsaken Rogue, and I took him through Death Knell, and I took him through Tears Fall, and then I took him into Silver Pine. Those were memories that I was creating, and the experience was so much more gripping, and I remember them, and those memories stick with me. Nowadays, like, I don't really have anything memorable to share from, like, you know, I hate to say it, Mist of Pandaria, even though I liked Mists. I can't really, as far as my progression goes, I can't really think of anything that just, like, stuck out to me, you know? Or that stuck with me. Or, you know, Warlords of Draenor, nothing, you know? Legion, nothing really stuck out to me. I mean, yes, I loved Val'sharah and loved Stormheim, but I went through them so fast that nothing really felt like, you know, man, this was such a memorable experience. Oh, let me tell you about the time this happened in this zone. You know, nothing like that. And a lot of that has to do with the fact, and let's be honest with it. Let's just, again, this is another one of those let's be honest here, you know. Azeroth doesn't feel dangerous anymore. It doesn't. In Wrath and Under, Azeroth felt dangerous because it was designed to be dangerous. You know, it had the best example I can compare it to is Zelda 1. You know, in Zelda 1, Hyrule was dangerous. You know, you ran, and I'm quoting, you know, Ego Raptor here. In Zelda 1, you ran the risk, so much risk, of running into an area that you were not prepared for, and you got your balls rocked. You know, and even if you were potentially prepared for an area, you still very likely may not have been ready for it. That is another thing that I really feel like is missing from current WoW. Azeroth doesn't feel dangerous anymore because it's, yeah, Agnorax, you fly through these zones so fast, and there's so much there to help you get through that, like, you know, heirloom gear, which I get it, you know, you have heirloom to level quickly, but that has to do with the fact that the point of WoW now isn't to experience the zone and progress through it slowly and bit by bit pick your way through it, you know, like you would in a real adventure. You know, it's get through it quick so you can get to the end game as quick as possible. And personally, for my personal taste, I don't like that. I like to take my time and explore the place and see what all they have to offer. And I know not everybody agrees with me on that. You know, there's people that love to fly through it and get to the raids. I get it. I get it. You know, you want to get to that in game. I get it, and I don't think less of people for it. I really don't. I just think I think
our time.
And again, people are gonna frown at me for this. I really feel like this way it's better. I really feel like people would be invested more. People would be invested more, and they would probably complain less if they felt like they were actually getting to experience and explore World of Warcraft. And what really might help that is make Azeroth dangerous again. You know, why do we have to have all the zones accessible from a level perspective? And even then, the zones in current WoW really aren't that treacherous. Just because it appears treacherous doesn't mean it's actually treacherous. I mean, they advertised it that way. You can go to any zone you want at any time, and you will never be out of your progression that you're doing as far as your leveling is concerned. That was not how it was. If I were to walk over here right now into the Western Playlands, I would get my balls rocked. I am not ready for this. If I were to walk down to Silverpine right now, I would get my balls rocked. If I was stupid enough to walk all the way down here to Elwyn Forest, first of all, I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't make it because something along the way is going to kill me. You know? I could, but I won't make it in one piece. If I were to go down to Hillsbrad, I would die. I wouldn't make it. Because you're not ready for that. Because that's how this was designed. You slowly build your character. And in building your character slowly but surely, and the rewards being not as frequent, but when it happens, it's something really good. You know, when stuff like that happens, when the rewards are greater but the progression is slower and steadier, people grow more attached to their characters, and their characters matter more. Like, they really do. It's a proven fact. Any game that has ever done that, people feel more invested. And like I said, the biggest thing about that is missing from WoW, not just the RPG immersion, but the biggest thing that is missing from current day WoW is the fact that Azeroth doesn't feel dangerous anymore. It doesn't. And I don't know if it ever will. I wish it would. Not just for the sake of challenge, but for the sake of, man, have me feel more invested, you know? Not just doing same old shit all over again, you know? And yeah, I know that, you know, well, it didn't matter what character you picked. You're going back to the Barons. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. And yet I've yet to meet one person that ever complained about that.